KC 101, we're virtually in our Dunkin Music Lounge. With me right now, I've got the one and only Teddy Swims. Teddy, what's up, brother?
Man, what a radio voice, man. You rule.
Thank you, man. Thank you. You know what? Katy Perry told me the same thing, and I thought she was full of crap. But now that you have, you know what? I might believe it now.
Yeah, what a voice, bro. How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Good. I know you were just here in Connecticut. You were at the Soundside Music Festival. I had events all weekend and I couldn't go, but so many people that I know went to it and they told me that you killed it. Tell me how it was being up here in Connecticut in that festival. You had Noah Khan, so many other people on there. It had to be dope, right?
Yeah, it's a cool, dude. It's a cool festival. I had a blast, man. I mean, I got my Soundside Music Festival shirt on too. Like when I was there, and I always go get the shirts. Like right now, I'm wearing my Austin City Limit shirt.
There you
We
go.
were
There
just
you go.
going back there tomorrow as well. So, I like festivals are just the coolest thing ever. You get to see other people. You get to play your set. They go watch Noah. And be like, this rules, bro. It's the coolest. It's the coolest thing ever.
Absolutely. Way back in high school, you performed in a ton of plays, which when I was preparing for the interview, I was surprised by that, including Rent. How do you think that really helped set you up for what you're doing now?
I think Brit also is my favorite show of all time. My guitarist Jesse, who's still in my band, who writes a bunch of stuff with me. He played Mark in that, and I played Roger, and so we were
That's
best friends in high school doing that play together. I
yeah.
could play every I could play every character in that play. I know every word to that play still. Like I can play every character in that play, and I'd love to do it again one day. But I will say that I think like 80% of singing is acting, and when you're singing something, meaning what you say, and kind of leaning into the feeling and the emotion. And so um, I, I, I think that helped me a lot with really giving the emotion to the song. And even if you're healed, or you're not going through that heartbreak anymore, you always got to go right back to that heartbreak that you're singing about. What about maybe some woman you moved on from 5 years ago? But
Yeah.
I always have to like dig up that dirt and like lean all the way into it and sing as if I'm still heartbroken over this person, and so there's just pieces of yourself that you have to use. Like I think 80% of acting or 80% of singing is acting is what I would say, and so it really helped me a lot with meaning what I say and always just truly acting when I'm singing.
Absolutely. And I think that kind of goes into what I wanted to bring up about the emotion that you hear in your music. I think that people really connect with it because of the fact that they can hear kind of that raw emotion and the unique sound that you have when expressing that emotion. What influenced you? I mean, I know it's a kind of a cliche question and I hate asking that in interviews, but I think with you, like what influenced you? Because your sound is so unique and so sick. Like, tell me a little bit about what kind of went into that, whether it be other musical influences or even the theater aspect.
I mean, Georgia, Georgia is like the best place for music ever. I mean, we have like the best soul music from Otis Redding to James Brown to Ray Charles to the best country music ever too. I mean, you got Zach Brown, you got
Yeah.
Luke Bryan, I mean, the list goes on. And Luke Combs, you got like some of the best country music ever, or some of the best hip hop ever too, from Migos to I mean, dude, the list goes on and on and on about music that came out of Ti to Outkast to
Atlanta. Oh yeah, Atlanta forever, man. Yeah.
Georgia has just been a place of like a melting pot of like the best music ever from all sides of the coin, and so I think I got to grow up right in the middle of that. Especially in the '90s and the 2000s when some of the best music ever was being released, and also growing up on music that uh, Georgia is just has a amazing music. Like it's just such a melting pot of so many different cultures and different styles of life and walks of life, and so that that touched me and changed. I mean that raised me, and so there's no doubt in my mind that Georgia will always be one of those places that bring out incredible musicians for generations to come. That will be some of the best musicians ever out of Georgia, and I'm so lucky to be that little redneck from there, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember the first time I found out about your talent was when you did that Shania Twain "You're Still the One" cover back in the day. What made you pick that song to do a cover of, and why do you think it popped off the way it did? Like that went crazy on the internet.
Yeah, I think it's because I dedicated to my sweet, sweet, sweet mama, and I love my mama. I'm such a mama's boy, and the first video we did of that, I was like, I just want to dedicate this to my mama,
Yeah.
and and I I think it touched people in a lot of ways too, and I think music is also so powerful in that way that that song always reminds me about my mother, and so for me, I sing it to my mama. I still on tour, like go and say like, my mama's not here right now at this venue, so I'm gonna sing this song to my mom and dedicate this to my mother. And I was asked, who's a mother in this building? For the rest of us, let's make some noise for the most beautiful creatures on earth, because like mothers are the most beautiful creatures on the planet. I did. God is a woman. The chicken came before the egg, 100%. There's nothing I love
You
more
you
than
got
mothers.
all those phrases lined right up.
Yeah,
Up.
yeah. So I got them. I got them. I knock it out of the park, man. I love my mama, and I think when you hear a song like that, it usually sounds like somebody you're in love with, maybe somebody you're mirroring. But you, you know, it's the beautiful thing about music too is even when I hear people kind of cover my songs, I'm like, they attach it to their own relationships or their own time in their life that this song touched them. And so I think what was beautiful about that song is that it's always for my mother, and I dedicate it to my mother. And I think people heard it under that cause and was like, wow, this can be about your mom, and it's a beautiful thing. And so maybe they just never quite heard that song and about being about your mama versus like being in love with somebody. And so I think maybe it was just a fresh spin on that, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you being a wedding DJ, I've played that so many times at weddings because I DJ a ton of weddings and I played that, but in a completely different, kind of context and vibe than what you did. So I think that is something that is really unique about music is that people can interpret it so many different ways. So you might mean it one way when you're singing it, but it may get interpreted by five different people, five different ways.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing to see because like something I wrote in my bedroom, I was crying about some girl, like somebody could take that and attach it to their own like pieces of, even so now to the day that like you're on TikTok and some 10-year-old girl's dancing with another 10-year-old girl and they're learning a dance move forever for the rest of their life. When they hear that song, they'll think about that time when they were 10 years old dancing with their friend. And that 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 song will only mean that to them, and it won't mean that to the writer at all, and it's a beautiful thing that there's so many ways to interpret or so many like relationships or times in your life that are that this song is so real to, and it's just music. Music rules, right, bro?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So you got the second part of your album dropping in January. About a week ago, you announced you got a headline tour coming up. Tell me, for the Teddy Swims diehards, what can you expect both on the album and on the headline tour? What do you got coming for everybody?
It's a safe place, I think with this album, it's a whole lot more healed and a whole lot more learning. So I mean, of course, there's still some turmoil in it, but the last record was just so much heartbreak the whole time and just crying and to like there was no answer to the end of it. I feel like this one has a whole lot more of a answer in a healed place and more about love and growing. And I think you'll love it.
Absolutely. We look forward to it, man. Teddy, thank you for spending some time with us. We appreciate it here in the Dunkin Virtual Music Lounge with KC 101. Have a great weekend, brother. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You too, buddy.